Welcome to the Imagine Not Being Leeds.
Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, everyone, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds and welcome back to everyone's favourite Leeds United YouTube show on a Friday night at 10 o'clock. I think it is Late Night Leeds. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to Late Night Leeds. There's 57 people already in the building. Smash us a like. Please subscribe if you're new here. And let's get into the show. AG, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. Yeah, all good. Good week in the new house. So, yeah, all going well.
We asked him before we went live if he's seen the butler yet. I should say Priestley did. And what were your answer to that question, mate?
Yes, I have seen him, yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't. You bugger, mate. He hasn't seen. He's been cleaning all the areas of the house that he hasn't even seen himself yet. You know how he does, mate. You know how he does. Anyway, Priestley, how are you doing, pal? The Onion. All good?
Yeah, I'm good. Good.
You know,
Weekend off work. Can't wait.
Is it just quickly? Is he always the Onion? Because is he the Onion just for the quiz elements, or is he like a superhero sort of pseudonym?
Do we just have him as Priestley for now, and then bring it? His alter ego comes in at the quiz.
Yeah, Onion for the quiz.
Priestley. Yeah, just Priestley. And by the way, everyone, special announcement. Everyone's gonna get right excited now. Hold on, just trying to find it now. You know how I do. You know how I do. Here we go. It is Priestley's birthday yesterday. We'll say today. He is 43 years of age. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Come on, AG. To you. No. Happy birthday to the Onion. 43 years of age today. Yesterday. Way! Can I get a hip hip?
43.
Right.
43. I'm only joking. He's 39. I'm only nobbling. Have you had a good birthday, mate? How's it going? And what have you got planned this weekend, mate, for your birthday?
I'm just going out for a few drinks with the family tomorrow. Nothing too serious. Guess I can still party like a rock star. I just can't recover like one.
No, of course not, mate. Of course not. It does get us in the end, doesn't it, mate? It does catch up with us. You want to see me getting out of bed, mate? Fucking Sean at Dead me getting out of bed these days, but that's another, a little bit stiff. Right, anyway, Dave Smith is in the house. Hey up, Dave, how you doing, my mate? Hope everyone's well in chat. Let's see who's here.
That was a slow burner, that one.
Very slow burner. Rich Bedford, hi all, watching the Rhinos game. Yes, I'm going to skip the Rhinos comments. Will be 10 points down with a minute left. Not happy at all. Tez's here as always. Thanks for a little bit of inside info there, pal. Really appreciate it, mate. Top Banana, evening all. Also says AG, you like this one. Best show on YouTube incoming. All these that week, MOT. Do you agree?
What?
AG?
Best show on YouTube?
Do you agree?
What? All of YouTube?
All of it. All of it.
Oh, yes, then. Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to make
AG,
sure. Yes, it's definitely
AG,
the best show on YouTube, yeah.
You've got two Mr. Beasts here. Two for the price of one. Can I say?
Oh, I see. Okay.
It seems to be a delay to your new house. Like, it's like you've moved.
I'm just taking it all in, mate. I'm amazed by everything you say.
I know. I can imagine. I'm trying to get past all questions and comments out about Rhinos. Looking forward to this, folks, says Luke and our Matty. But obviously, the teeth, the feet, and the Onion come before me and AG. Of course, I do. All together now, Wembley. Yeah, later we'll be getting into that. How's everyone doing, Rich? Yeah, I'm good, my mate. I'm good. Good evening. All another Friday night, Late Night Leeds. Hit those likes and subscribe if you want. Cheers, pal. Fraser said, Matt is the man. Top bloke. Cheers, Fraser. Hope you good, pal. Smash those likes. Leeds United peeps. Class. Nige is also in the house. But evening, Matt and co. Here's to a good show. Let's hope so. We will do our best. Hey up, Angela. How are you doing? Right then, guys. Let's get into last weekend's game. Mr. Priestley, you were there. It is the review of. So the FA Cup came along. One win gets us to the quarter-final in 90 minutes from Wembley. Norwich, third championship game in a row. Finally a home leg, which were nice. How do you think we fared? Were you happy with the lineup, AG? I'll come to you first. Bit of rotation in there. How did you feel with the lineup before we got into the game?
God, so long ago. I knew we were going to
No,
talk about it as well. I should have thought. Yeah, I was happy to line up. I think because we're at home against lower league opposition, we're always such strong favourites, whatever team you put out. Bit of rotation, obviously. Happy to see players getting minutes that may be needed in the rest of the season. I don't think there's any particular standout performances. The Metro, actually. The Metro is a really good indicator for where we are, I think. I watched the Metro against Birmingham. I watched the Metro against Norwich. And I think if he was he's a 20-goal season striker in the Championship. He looks a level above comfortably, more so than other players. Very good striker, very good player. I'd like to see him play more for us in the Premier League as well. But yeah, we started slowly, then sort of found our feet. I think we started playing a little bit more direct, letting the ball do the work a little bit more. And yeah, 3-0, very comfortable in the end.
Yeah, and I agree. Nice to see Tanaka in there, Priestley, Pirro, a few more of these championship ballers that did very well for us last year, getting some minutes after, let's be fair, quite a few weeks of not playing much, mate. But nice to see them get a run out.
Yeah, Pirro took his goal quite well as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
One touch finish. Yeah. Best finisher at the club, and you can see why. Thought well, Farke seems to think so.
Yeah, he's up there.
Atmosphere seemed a bit flat. Must have been all the day trippers that don't usually go.
Yeah, no, I felt that.
But wait,
it's back to like. Sorry, Priestley, go on.
I'm just going to say it's a routine expected win. That could have been more. Probably should have been more. That the penalty we should have had for the push on Metcher is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a pen. Yeah, I agree.
That's a penalty and a red card all day.
It's such a clear pen, but they look at it and go, "Oh no, it's all right." I think that certain things are looking for, and it's looking for the way the player goes down rather than it being a foul, not a foul. I think like it's the same as any other push, the same as Bijal against João Pedro. It's the same thing, but because I don't know because it's a different angle and players are sort of going for the ball, they let it go. It's a really weird concept that doesn't really come together to make a right answer for me. But yeah, it's a clear pen. And yeah, red card, game over. But yeah, how can VAR look at that and not think it's a penalty? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Especially when the rule 2 of our goes out.
Let me just shout this. I wondered how long it'd take people to see. I was leaving it to see how long it took someone to notice that Bossnass wasn't here. I wanted to give Priestley the birthday celebration introduction before I went into it. So Bossnass, as he retired after last week's win, and where's Bossnass? Bossnass is young and ready. He's a little bit under the weather, been poorly for the last day or so. So it was touch and go. And he couldn't do it tonight for that reason. But be back next week, all being well. And Freddie and Bossnass, we love you both to bits. So yeah, that's why the Onion is here for the full show again. And then we've got my mate Mike coming in for the quiz, who you'll meet for the first time, who won the quiz when we did the Members versus Legends quiz. He was number uno. We'll find out how many times Priestley actually helped him win that tonight when we see him without the help of Priestley and actually going against the Onion. We'll see.
No pressure on Mike, but Mike is #1 Leeds United quizzer in the world. No pressure on him, though.
He's the one that won the 55-inch TV, if anyone ain't too sure. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, the Norwich game for me, boys, the performance didn't massively matter to me. We're all about obviously getting through in the cup. It's potential banana skin in terms of, 8 wins in 10 for them. The Farke derby, we were sat in the stands. I weren't too sure how much that were going to affect us. It didn't affect us at all. It felt very routine. We didn't really have to get out of second gear, which I was happy about, but I was expecting a bit more from Norwich, I won't lie. But I suppose, with a bit of a disjointed side, what we put together, it's not our usual starting side. A lot of players coming in with not many minutes. It's one of those where you're just happy to get through to the next round and happy that there's some minutes, being put in some of these players' legs. But the sort of only player I sort of look at who came in, maybe there's a couple, maybe I've been a bit harsh, who I think's a definite should start the next game, which we will get into. I think Jacobiol, I think he needs to be a starter. And I think Longstaff and Willing Onto boys made a good account of themselves. I didn't feel Tanaka were brilliant, I won't lie. But when you look at the players that came in, I think Biol, we know what he's about, but I really thought Nonto and Longstaff, AG, I know you're a Longstaff fan, took his goal fantastically well, by the way. Honestly, that in the ground, I seen what, but you couldn't really make it out. When I watched it on a replay when I got back, I could not believe how good that finish was by Longstaff. And he's got that in lock, over a Gruev. I think he can do the dirty side of the game really well in the middle. But I think he offers you some of what Gruev done going forward, and that was that.
Yeah, but the issue of that, I 100% agree, and I think he's more forward thinking. He's more vertical, and he gets the ball forward. But I think the thing is, the competition with Gruev is really about defensively and tracking your man. And ever since Longstaff lost his man at Wolves all that time ago, I think Farke looks at stuff like that and goes, if you don't, because Gruev, like Goodmanson gets forward and very forward, so he needs to be covered, and Gruev does that very well. And I think Farke backs Gruev over Longstaff to do that job. And because that role is really it's a centre midfield, but it's more of a DM role alongside Ampadu in the current formation, and Longstaff just doesn't get in. It's a shame because I'd like to see Longstaff in there. I like his experience. I like that he's a leader. I know he got a little bit of a bad rap for a little while there for moaning at the referee, but I like he talks to the referee.
We need someone to do it.
Referee. I feel like he tries to manage the referee. Yeah, 100%,
we don't have enough people. We don't have enough people do it.
But
we need someone like that.
Yeah, I just think we started losing games of football, and then people were looking for fault in people, and you're losing games of football. Plus, he's moaning the referee, and people get down with all sorts of stuff. That's just what happens. So yeah, and he's not really been in the team for this long run of or the long run of good games. Oh, shut up, Bossnass. He's starting on Zidane
like finish. Zidane like finish.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Miss you, mate. Miss you.
Miss you, mate. But yeah, Priestley, who sort of stood out to you out of those players that came in? Looking at Nonto, does he look like he might be worthy of a start anytime soon? Or Tanaka, did you see it from him?
Yeah, same ones for me. Nonto, Longstaff, Biol, all prove that they're the class above. Longstaff should be a shoo-in for a starting spot every week.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I think
Ampadu's the best midfielder at the club, but Longstaff is a close second.
Yeah, I think when he signed for Leeds, I don't think he expected the same sort of role he were having at Newcastle to be at Leeds. When you think newly promoted side, he looks at that midfield, he would have definitely fancied himself, especially when you think we've got three in there. You think he's definitely going to get one of those spots, and he was probably one of our best players. AG were Longstaff. Early on in the season, he had a month where he would play 2 or 3 games back to back where he looked, a cut above, and we were talking about him on here, going, "Wow, this is why we bought him." And a couple of knocks and a couple of injuries, and he's out the side, and he's really struggled to get back in because of the good old favourite, Gruev's been in there. But I do like the look of him, and and obviously when it comes to Willing Onto in that game as well, I really looked at Gabby Goodmanson's performance, and you've got to caveat it and say, it's a championship side, so Gabby Goodmanson's one of his best players, and obviously against championship side, he's going to look even more elevated. But I thought him and Nonto complement each other so well on that left hand side, and I think that could be a partnership that could really, bother a few right backs and defenders in this league.
I think Goodmanson is I think in the Premier League, he's one of the most progressive left backs in the league. The way he gets forward with the ball, he's phenomenal. The way he picks up and carries it, and he outruns the speed he can travel at with the ball is really, really impressive. Like with and without the ball. But what will serve him best is that sort of left winger like Nonto that cuts inside, but he's a playmaker left winger. I think Nonto is probably the best for that role we have in the squad. He's better than Aronson out. He's better than Okafor out, that playmaker role of not, actually someone overlapping and giving him the ball. He's best passer out of those 3 players. So yeah, I can. But again, I've seen Nonto not getting many minutes in the Premier League because of the formation we're playing, and I think we'll get into that because Biol comes into that a lot as well. I can't see, and later on we get into why I think Biol won't start again next game, which is crazy to me. But I think that's what will happen, and it'll be the same for Longstaff, and it's the same for Nonto, because system-wise, it's system over personnel, which should be ultimately. But I think actually the personnel don't massively change the system. They can work in this system. But yeah, I think like same as Longstaff Gruev is a DM role. Longstaff just doesn't do it. I mean, Gruev's the one you look at the summer. I think we can massively upgrade if we can carry on with this formation. We can massively upgrade Gruev. Longstaff go back to Longstaff. 4-3-3 is what we played. In a 3, he gets in every single time. Now this is sort of a 2 DM sort of setup, or 1 DM and 1 slightly more advanced. It's a defensive role, and he trusts Gruev more defensively.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And absolutely, to be fair to Gruev, tracking his man, understanding the danger, understanding when to press and when to stand off, when to track, when to go in, all those sorts of elements. Gruev is exceptional at that. He's exceptional. Gruev reading the game is really, really good at it, to be fair. But the progression side is where he lacks.
Yeah, of course. When it comes to a side like City, I understand a Gruev playing. I sort of think his role at Leeds United should be on the bench if we're leading. Bring him on for the last 15, 20 and it'd be perfect to sit in there and sort of slow play down and get it side to side, track his man, as you say, do all those defensive duties to sort of see a game out. As opposed to right now, I feel the fan base, Priestley, is very much sat there wanting to see Leeds go out and attack the 9 points that's needed. 7 to 9 points, Farke's saying. I don't think we can draw his way there. Farke, for me, needs to play more attacking side going forward. But that's what I liked about the game against Norwich. It was nice to see us, albeit a championship side, lads, it was nice to see us go back to that sort of that 4-2-3-1 formation and have a bit of a go. And we know that's going to revert straight back to, revert back to type as we've seen this season. But it was nice for that one game to sort of see some attacking players and let off the leash a little bit. And for me, that needs to be as rhetoric for the rest of the season, lads. Priestley, quick and for you here. Big love, Mr. Russ Vernon, AG, Mike, and the boy Priestley. Good to see Priestley at the game versus Norwich. Absolute legend. Yeah, you bumped into him at Concourse.
Always a pleasure, Russ. Always a pleasure.
He said that did Priestley and me, Russ. I bumped into Mr. Russ Vernon. Always a pleasure, as always. Richard Hogan, I'm not sure Longstaff is that good. Need to remember the opposition we played last weekend. He needs to show more in the Prem to be categorised as our second best midfielder.
Well, the thing is with that, I mean, obviously, Priestley left Stack off, but Stack's playing an attacking midfielder. There's not a lot of competition because Tanaka doesn't come into it. And Longstaff is a better player than Gruev. He just is. You can argue against that. I mean, I don't see it. But again, in this system, Farke prefers Gruev, which is fair enough as well. But just Longstaff is a better midfielder. I think Ampadu, Stack, who you want to put number one? Who's our number one? Ampadu or Stack? Who's best? Who you putting number one?
Well, when I did leave Stack out, but I was thinking more the DM role.
Yeah, absolutely. Stack hasn't done.
Ampadu's like Mr. Leeds and he is captain, but Stack's technically a better footballer. Let's be fair. I would suggest
a quality footballer.
Stack's an unbelievable footballer. Did you see
the German national coach talking about him? And he said about him, he's much better with a game in front of him. As in, he spent a lot of time at Hoffenheim in the centre of a back three or playing a DM role. So the game ahead of him. I just think Stack's not great defensively. People go past him quite easily, quite regularly, actually. But I understand that. But by saying that, of course, you're saying he's not very good technically on the ball. He doesn't receive the ball in the half turn. He doesn't receive his ball,
which is bollocks.
Which is bollocks. But I can, of course, if you're comparing some elite German footballers, I can understand that. I can understand what he's saying. But I mean, Stack. I guess he's not going to get in the German squad for next international break. But I'd love to see it, obviously.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
even better than that. Has anybody seen Stack's YouTube channel?
What a legend! What a legend!
Honestly, I was watching it earlier. It's brilliant.
I know. Honestly, does it surprise us? He's got one. Ramazani's got one. Over in Valencia, and they're all following.
Someone said, imagine if he was playing in the same team as Alioski and Click. Nothing would get done.
Nothing will get done. Anyway, boys, to sort of move on from Norwich before we get into the quiz, because we've got Mike waiting in the wings. I can see him sat there. Just sort of wrap it up with obviously the draw. I was fairly happy with the draw. It's not the best draw we could have had, boys, but it's certainly not the worst. It's a fairly favourable tie away at West Ham. It's now been confirmed for Sunday, the 5th of April. Hopefully, we'll all be scrambling to get tickets. Hopefully, I can get there the day after Sean Carney's wedding. Thank God. But yeah, how do you think we'll fare in that, AG? Are you happy with it, with a tie? It's certainly one we can win, albeit in London, which, the London hoodoo.
Yeah. I mean, only 3 wins in London to win the FA Cup. That's Leeds United. That's going to work, isn't it? That's going to go great. So, yeah, I mean, it's about as good. It's about as, I mean, I think home tie goes West Ham. I'd be 99%. I think we'd be there. but away from home, they're playing some good football. But we're right in it. It could have been much worse, much worse. I fancy to get Arsenal or Man City away and just go, oh, what's the point? But yeah, so I mean, it's a very winnable tie. Be interesting to see what Farke does with the team in that game. Whether how many he does rest, and how many does how many he's sort of first team Premier League players he starts. But yeah,
100%.
a lot. I mean, and well done, Matty. In 29,000 on the. What would you count? The home of Leeds United FA Cup draws on YouTube.
Well, I think I'm maybe the first to do it. I'm not sure, but we took off bloody 2,000 live viewers and 29. You can only imagine what might. Yeah, I was nervous. I was sweating.
I'll tell you what. You need to say Abdul's name well tonight, mate. If you see his super chat, if you see his super chat, you need to say his name well now.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Yeah, let me read that. Wow. Right, let's read this out. Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa. Wow. Looks like I'm paying these two tonight. Thanks so much for that, mate. Super chat. That's knocked me off me. Yeah, thank you so much. Evening, Matty and friends. I need a Leeds win to cheer me up due to where I live in Bahrain. Come on, Leeds, cheer me up, MOT. We'll do our best, Stephen Mawson. Honestly, thank you so much. I don't know what to say about that. Wow, thank you. Boys.
Stay safe.
That's unbelievable.
Stay safe.
Unreal.
100%. I hope you and your family are okay, mate.
Yeah, stay safe.
Good night, everyone. I want to say, honestly, I don't want to say thank you, mate. Honestly, what a legend. Wow.
Generous, very generous.
Very generous.
Just to bring it back onto the draw.
Yep.
I was watching it. I mean, I watched a bit of your live stream, but the moment you said 6-7, I turned it off immediately.
I can't help it, mate. I can't help it. It's kids driving.
As soon as you did that, I'm like, nah, I'm out. So I watched it on TNT, and then you see obviously Arsenal versus Southampton, Chelsea versus Port Vale, and you think you know exactly where it's going. And then next team out, Man City, and you think, well, it's going to be us. And unfortunately, Liverpool got the short straw. But like AG says, if it's at home, you're looking at that as a banker. Away from home, I suppose it depends on how the next two games go.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You can look at the tie now and have your reservation to think about, we're going to win, or we're going to. But the fact we've got two more games to come, we win both of them, which they're both winnable games. Do I think we'll win them both? Probably not. Win them both, we're almost there, aren't we? And the FA Cup again, you go win it, go win that game. Lose the next two, and there'll be a lot of fans saying, I'm not asked about this game.
Well, you've also got to take into account who West Ham play their next two.
Oh, yeah. The City.
So they've got Man City at home and Villa away.
Yeah.
So I would say our next two games are a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. Yeah, so much love in chat for Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa. Honestly, thanks so much for that super chat. And yeah, I hope you and your family stay safe, mate. Legend. Mental that. Thanks so much. Right then, we'll wrap it up there with that. Bring on the onion, says White, forever, Steve. We're going to bring in Mike. Sean Healey has been substituted for the night. To be fair, about an hour ago, you were having a nice meal out with wife. So yeah, brilliant, Abdul. What a guy. Stay safe out there too, right? Right then, boys, girls, everyone watching. It's time for Defeat the Ladder. He's only done it for the first time ever. He's done it. I've got it all in one go. Get in there. Get in.
You were sat there as the host.
I can't change that. Immediately go to the host. I'm the main man, obviously. You know what I mean? Right, everybody. Welcome our good friend, Mike. How are you doing, Mike?
Hello,
I'm
Mike.
good, mate. Hi, boys.
Yeah, all good. From over the Pennines in Bolton.
Yeah, I don't like to shout about that round there.
Bolton's biggest Leeds fan, where eating a pie in a butty is acceptable for breakfast. I don't understand that. Do you understand that, AJ, being from down south? They eat pie sarnies.
I've never heard of that in my life.
Genuinely. They literally they get bread, put a pie in it, and then put bread.
What pie is it?
It's a pasty, mate, not a pie. Wiganers eat pies in the bags.
Mad,
I think we should move on.
Me too. Me too. Well, yeah, it's a bit of a baffling one for me. That I mean, good job I had ball on that side at Pennines, mate. I don't think I'd have made it to 39. I really don't.
You haven't yet.
I have, mate. Yeah, a few more months yet. A few more months. Anyway, Priestley, before we get into it, mate, got to play your song that you can never hear. Welcome, The Onion. From Priestley to The Onion.
It's Priestley on parade. Every Leeds take boldly overplayed. Blind faith strong.
I don't know why I can't hear it. Bonkers.
He's never getting paid. It's The Onion layers.
I can't hear it, to be fair.
I can. Okay.
I can.
Mike, it's a need to know basis, and we don't need to know.
Spam.
I've heard it, but I can't hear it again.
If I were really that bothered about it, I could go back tomorrow and watch it, but I'm not
You're
going
not going to know, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Right then, Mr. Priestley, Mr. Onion. No pressure for Mike here, the number one quizzer out of all the Leeds members in the world.
Because Bossnass isn't here this week, does that mean I get to go through the rules?
Yes. Oh,
Yes,
go on,
yes.
It does.
Right. 10-question ladder. You can't get 2 in a row wrong. And you have to get question 10 right to win.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. I don't know how Bossnass makes it sound hard.
Hey, no. Watch this star on it.
I'm only kidding, Bossnass, if you're watching.
He'll be watching.
He did it last week, so it must be easy, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. I agree. Right, Mr. Priestley.
Sean Healey, though, as I said, is a very good Leeds United quizzer, apparently. Knows his stuff.
Yeah, but we've got Leeds United's number one quizzer with us tonight.
Oh, don't.
Yeah. And we got Leeds United's number one Hertfordshire fan. That's me, by the way.
You technically in this stream you've got Leeds' number 1, 2, and 3 quizzer.
You have. You literally have. What can I say? You were lucky folk. Smashers are like 68 likes, 150 people watching. Smashers are like, if you don't mind, please subscribe. I'm waiting for all Phoenix Night stuff to come in. It's great. I like this one at bottom. Why is Jim from Royal Family hosting the quiz?
That's fair.
Oh, love it. Come on, Mike Bassett, hurry up.
Oh, no. Ignore that. I know who that is. He's a prick.
Oh,
He's done you dirty there. That's class.
Ginger wanker. I know exactly who that is.
What? Who's commented?
Yeah.
Class.
It's my cousin's boyfriend.
I just want to put a disclaimer out there. Nobody at Late Night Leeds on Imagine Not Being Leeds has any problem with ginger hair. Just to put that out there. Right then.
I do.
Well then, Miss Priestley. Class.
Especially when it's attached to him.
Oh, class. Right, man, mate. Come on. Let's be having you. Question number 1.
Question number 1. 4 years ago today, Leeds United beat Norwich 2-1 in a relegation 6-pointer. Who scored the winner?
Shit.
I think boys it would. Yeah, Mike. Cut back by Rafinha.
Yeah, Gellert.
Get in.
I was going to add in as a bonus question who got the assist, but Matty answered that because.
Of course I did.
He's a show off.
Come on. What's that mean, mate?
I don't go to many games, but we're at that one.
Well, yeah, that one. I won't just tell you who scored. I'll tell you who got the assist, what minute it was, and what he had for breakfast. Just not on that one. On next one. Go on.
Odd one out. And I know Bossnass isn't here, but I'll still give you the criteria. So I'll just need Charlie FM pop up. So.
Coming in your ears, Charlie FM.
Odd one out.
Yep.
You've got David Hopkin, Eddie Nketiah, Lee Bowyer, and Thomas Brolin.
Oh, Thomas Brolin.
Which one didn't play for both Leeds and Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I like to try and keep them topical.
Well, Eddie and who was the first one?
David Hopkin.
Yeah, Hopkin obviously came from Palace, didn't he? Or went to Palace, wherever. So yeah, it's Brolin or Bowyer.
I think it's Bowyer.
Bowyer.
We've got to go with Mike on that one. I think Bowyer.
It was Lee Bowyer, and there is a really funny clip of Brolin playing against Leeds for Crystal Palace. where he clashes heads 5 minutes in, gets his head bandaged, then 2 minutes later just gets the bandage completely knocked off his head.
Does it?
Takes the ball straight to the face.
Class. There you go. Loads of people in chat getting it right. I think that always, mate, the first couple are always too easy. Way too easy. We're going to smash you.
We're
going to smash you.
That I sent you earlier? That voice note I sent you earlier saying you're going to regret winning 2 weeks in a row.
I'm not. I'm going to do you. We're all going to do you, mate.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm on your side.
Go on. Number 3.
Which goalkeeper kept the most Premier League clean sheets? Nigel Martin or Paul Robinson?
I hate these ones. They'll be like one in it.
Oh, well, you didn't say for Leeds United, did you?
Oh no, sorry, for Leeds United. Ooh. Sorry, I must specify that.
Boys, I think, my gut is Nigel.
Yeah, but knowing Priestley, because you automatically think Nigel Martin. But knowing Priestley, I'd say it's probably Robinson.
I don't do trick questions, boys.
Did Martin play for Graham? George Graham?
Didn't he sign?
I think he will have done, yeah.
Well, that's decent. Then,
96 did he sign?
That season he scored about 11 goals.
I think Martin played more games, no?
Yeah, Martin must have played more games. Yeah.
In a better side as well. Robbo, I know Robbo were decent as well, but then didn't he have that rough period as we were getting shit where Robbo were in goal?
I think Martin's the obvious answer, and I think that it's not a trick question, but I think it's closer than you think it's going to be. I think that's the trick. So I think Martin.
Yeah,
all 3. Mike, Martin, lock it in.
Yeah.
You are correct, Nigel Martin, and you couldn't be more wrong about it being closer than you think.
How far away is it?
So Nigel Martin for Leeds United kept 94 Premier League clean sheets. Does anybody want to hazard a guess how many Paul Robinson kept?
28.
21.
3. Mike's right, 3.
What?
Yeah.
You freak. How did you know that?
That was a guess, mate. That was a guess.
Wow. As if he only kept 3 clean sheets. That's a shocker, that AG.
Yeah, do you know when I thought of that question, I thought it was going to be a lot closer, but I thought I'm committed to it now. So,
right then, question number 4. Easy peasy.
I would just like to interject at this point and say it has been a rough week doing this quiz because the website I've been using has closed down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. LUFC Data has basically closed the website down. So I've had to. It's been tough sourcing some of these.
Is that because you get questioned every week?
Yeah. People go on Wikipedia and think they know everything.
They do, mate. They do. Right, come on, mate. Next one.
Career path. AG's favourite.
Yeah, I like these.
Right, quite a few teams on this one. So you've got Strasbourg, Everton, Lens.
Oh, d'accord.
You're a pain in my ass.
Olivia de Court.
I didn't even get to Leeds.
AG, I was there with you on that one, mate. As soon as they said that, I was like, me and AG, one of our favourite.
Well, Lens is going Leeds, isn't he, next?
Yeah.
To be honest, I was misremembering because I thought we got him from Everton.
No. Mike, do you remember Olivia de Court, mate?
I do, mate.
Some player.
Brilliant.
Absolute Rolls Royce of a player.
Oh, fantastic footballer.
Priestley, next.
Number 5. Who is the most capped player to play for Leeds? So this isn't the number of caps they won while playing for Leeds. This is the number of caps they won all together, but also played for Leeds.
It's multiple choice.
I can give you multiple choice if you want.
Yeah, I think we need it.
Needs to be.
Yeah.
Right, multiple choice. I mean, I've not got multiple choice written down, so I've got Jack Charlton.
Yeah.
Eddie Gray.
Yeah.
Lucas Radaby. Or Terry Yorath.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's Jack Charlton.
I'm out.
Charlton played 700 games for Leeds, didn't he?
Yeah, but I'm talking about international caps.
I'm out. I've got no idea.
I'm not talking about Leeds United games.
I still think Charlton.
No idea.
I'm thinking Rugby, but I'm not 100%.
Rugby.
Rugby is massive in South Africa. Like, I went there and they say that's not
you want me to give you the number of caps the player won?
Yeah.
They won 69 caps for their country.
Oh, it's not that many.
I think Rugby than me. I don't think Jack Charlton got as many as that. To be fair, not with the not with the players he was playing with.
Yeah,
probably more than that.
I
think Rugby might have had
Lucas.
Yeah, he could have had 60 odd caps for South Africa, couldn't he? Yeah, I reckon so. I wanna go with that, boys. We'll lock that.
You've got like Cup of Nations, World Cup, all them. So
I think Rugby.
Locked.
The answer is Lucas.
Get him, boys.
Jack Charlton only won, I think it was 32 caps for England.
Wow.
Criminal that. Oh, we got that right.
Yeah, but like I say, it was in a team that had Bobby Moore in it, so.
Lucas. Think smaller nation, says Brett. Yeah, keep going, my mate. Next one.
Right. Another multiple choice one. In the all-time Premier League table, and this is from a graphic from the 15th of February, so only 3 weeks ago, which of these current Football League teams is above Leeds in the all-time Premier League table? Is it West Brom, Middlesbrough, Bolton, or Blackburn?
So, over the whole time in Premier League, only one of these sides is above Leeds in terms of points won.
In terms of points won, yeah.
My immediate thing, boys, I'm shocked at any of them, to be fair. I'm actually shocked. I don't know why I thought Middlesbrough, but that can't be right, can it?
I'm thinking West Brom. They had a stretch when they were in the Premier League for quite a few years.
I'm thinking West Brom. I'm thinking West Brom as well.
Blackburn makes you think Blackburn might because they won it, didn't they? But
they did win it, yeah.
But they
Bolton and Blackburn kept going up and down.
It might be West Brom because when they went down, they usually were only down a year, weren't they? Then came back up.
Yeah.
I feel like West Brom had the longest stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, boys, I'm handing that one over to you, Mikey. You locking that in?
Yeah, go on.
West Brom. The boys have spoken. Priest, the West Brom.
The answer is Blackburn.
Oh,
the side that won the league. Who would have thought it?
Leeds have 850 points. Blackburn have 970.
That's mental,
that. Don't forget, I think they finished second the season before as well.
Yeah.
Morgan Gams Pedersen's got a lot to answer for. He's got a lot of goals. Absolute baller. Right, what question number are we on now, mate? What number now?
Number 7.
Number 7. Come on, boys.
Missing link.
Need this one. Or it's game over.
Missing link. So you've got Chris Wood.
I'm saying Blackburn as well.
Pablo Hernandez. Pablo Hernandez. Blank. Ampadu. Dan James.
What the fuck does that mean?
Dallas.
For what?
I think it's Player of the Year.
I will caveat this that in between the blank and Ampadu, there is 2 spaces because they didn't do it that year.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking because if it's Player of the Year, it's got because Hernandez won it coming up, then didn't play under Bielsa from there really, and then Ampadu won it, so it's got to be the 2 seasons in the Premier League. Where was the blank?
The blank was after the 3rd Pablo.
Okay.
Well, I think it's got to be Dallas. Dallas got Player of the Year, didn't he? One time. The year we came up. First season, when we finished 7th. 9th, sorry. Dallas got Player of the Season.
Hang on, where are the missing ones? After your blank.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then yeah.
So you are right. It's Player of the Year. They didn't do
so
it.
it's Player of the Year, the first season back up then. So if it's Dallas, yeah, Dallas sounds right then. Yeah,
They didn't do it for the other 2 Premier League seasons for obvious reasons.
yeah.
Locking it in.
I think so. Yeah.
You locking in Stuart Dallas?
Yep.
Yep, correct.
Get up. Happy days. The game continues.
Question 8.
Well played with Player of the Year, by the way. That was class.
Question 8. Which former Leeds player shares my birthday? And I will give you some clues. Don't worry, I'm not that much of a psychopath.
No idea.
He's currently 46 years old. Well, 46 years and 1 day. Played in the early 2000s. And his initials are SJ.
Seth Johnson. Seth Johnson or Simon Johnson? I think Seth Johnson.
Well, Simon's not old enough, I wouldn't have thought. Or is he older?
I'm locking it in. Locking it in, Seth Johnson. Locked in. It's locked in.
That's bold. You're not going to wait to...
No, because it just adds attention. Sorry, boys. Just gone. Seth Johnson.
I deliberately put the initials in, hoping to steer you towards Simon Johnson, but it's Seth Johnson.
Oh,
come on, back of the fucking net. Get up. Good old Seth Johnson. Best player we've ever signed that. Fucking come on. Come on. In fact, it turned out it didn't matter because everyone got it. How buzzy with that.
Right, did you see my new little one last week? Who am I?
Yep.
The new question. I've got another one. So who am I?
Let's have it.
Signed in 2004. Scored on home debut. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. Signed in 2005. Signed in 2005. Scored on home debut.
Yep.
We bought him and sold him to the same club.
Yep.
And he lost a playoff final.
I think it's David Healey. Am I wrong with that?
no idea.
I think it's David Healey. Northern Irish.
Remember, you can get this one wrong.
I don't think I am going to get it wrong. Any objections to David Healey, 2005?
No.
Any objections?
No.
Locking it in. David Healey.
You don't think you're getting it wrong?
Oh, don't, Priestley.
You remember what I said about 10 minutes ago where I like to keep it topical?
Yep.
And try and involve the teams that we're playing?
Yep.
That are coming up. Like Crystal Palace, for instance.
Oh, is it?
Sean Derrick.
Oh.
Fucking headband. Headband wanker. Gutted with that. I really thought with David Healey. Right, Priestley, before you carry on, mate. 77 likes, 156 watching. Please do us a favour. Smash us a like if you don't mind. Really would appreciate it. Let's get it to 100 as quick as we can. While Mike's on here, let's get to 100 while Mike's still on here. Sean Derry, wow. Fair play. What question are we on now?
This is the 10th question.
Is it?
Yeah, question number 10. We can do this. Come on.
Yeah, question 10.
Good Richard Hogan.
And as always, when do these questions get difficult?
Now.
All right, okay. We'll see, won't we?
Oh, don't say that.
What a good question, that. Come on, boys.
As always, you can swap the question. I have got 2 questions.
He's lovely, isn't he? He's lovely, this onion. Not layers.
Who is the only person to captain Leeds and manage Leeds at Wembley? Obviously not at the same time.
Billy?
I don't know with that one. Hold on. I reckon Gary McAllister's. No, Gary McAllister didn't do it. No, manage Leeds.
Oh no, what? managed Leeds at Wembley?
And captain Leeds at Wembley.
Gary McAllister, what do you say? What one will you say it hasn't done?
Managed at Wembley? What has he?
Oh, maybe
'Cause
not.
I'm trying to think if he's managed at Wembley. That was the first one that popped in my head. Mike, any input?
Who was in charge for the Doncaster? Playoff?
Will that Macca? I've got a feeling in my head. I just thought Macca. And now you've said that Doncaster game, you might be right.
Because he was captain for the. Was it Charity Shield or was he the League Cup final?
I think you're right with that as well. I'm not sure which one, but I think you're right. I think it's Gary Mack, boys.
I'm just trying to think who the manager was when we were playing Doncaster.
I don't think Billy Bremner managed us at Wembley, in my opinion. I might be wrong with that. I might be wrong. I think Gary Mack. I can't think of anybody else who definitely captained us at Wembley, which I think Mack did, and was a manager around the time we met at Wembley. I think you've nailed it with Donny in final. And I think you'll get the plaudits this one because AG don't know answer, do you, AG?
I do not know the answer, no.
9 more likes for 100 peeps. If Mike gets this right, I want to see the chat littered with W's for the win. And 100 likes. We're locking it in. Gary McAllister. Gary
Are you
McAllister.
sure? Because there is a swap available.
No, because it's going to be worse. I think it's Gary McAllister. Boys. AG,
Tell us the question and then we'll tell you whether we want to swap it.
Oh, I can't do that.
AG.
I mean, to be fair, the question I've just asked was the swap question from last week.
Oh,
AG.
So I've just recycled it.
Swap or no swap, AG?
I don't think swap. I think Mike's probably right.
Right, locking it in. Gary McAllister. Hold on. Drum roll, please.
Are you actually doing a drum roll or are you just...
Yeah, there was a drum roll, yeah.
Hold on, I'll do it again. You just can't hear out.
Yeah.
And the answer is?
Gary McAllister.
Come on! Get up! Get up! Yes! W's in the chat. Get us to 100 likes. We have defeated the ladder this week. Get in. The onion is peeled and boiled and put in the bin.
Scumbags.
Let's see who got that. Buzzing with that one. Buzzing.
Yeah, it was the League Cup final.
Wow, what it?
League Cup final. Well,
League Cup.
I believe Strachan was the captain at the
the
charity.
Charity Shield. Right.
And was it the Donny final that he
Yeah.
managed? Mike, you and Sean Healey as well. Sean Healey gets most of these right. You and Sean Healey have done it for us. You really have.
Yeah, Sean
Really
Healey's
have.
using Google.
he weren't last week. He weren't last
I
week.
wouldn't have got Google off there.
You what?
I wouldn't have got Google off there.
No, I don't think so, mate. No, I really don't think so. Gary Mackers is how it is. Right then, Mike, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for helping us defeat the Onion this week. You absolute legend. Mike is a top quizzer, and he just proved yet again why he's number one. Mike, love you to bits. See you later,
Hey
man.
there, boys.
Yeah, Mike.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, Mike.
Class, man. Defeated the ladder again. Got us 100 likes as well. Happy days. Come on, boys. Come on. I take that every day a week. Priestley, you need to get better, mate. You need to get better. It's getting too easy.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Can you hear me now?
no.
Oh, this is a nightmare.
Can you hear me?
Off
He's
he goes.
gone.
Hello.
He's
We'll have
back.
to carry on. We'll have to carry on without you. I don't know why it's gone, mate. I ain't got a clue. The Onion's having technical difficulties. Leave and come back, Priestley. Leave and come back.
I
Let me go out
don't
and come
think-
back in. Hang on 1 minute.
Just, do as I ask. Yeah, cheers, Priestley.
I don't think I've got a right answer in the quiz for a few months.
So I'm going to say, no, I don't think you have, mate.
I don't
Get
think
into
I
the Premier
take part
Sports.
in it. I just sit there and enjoy it. I don't really enjoy it either. I just sit there.
Yeah, to be fair, I think Mike proved he's a good quizzer there.
He did, yeah.
He had some good
Yeah.
ones there. He had some really
These
good ones.
guys have been paying attention.
They have been paying attention. Hat trick, baby. Yes, says Bossnass. Hat trick, baby. Yes, get in. 3 weeks in a row. It is, Fraser. It is. It is the best Leeds fan singer I know, Fraser, by the way. And I know you, AG, and you're not a bad singer. Mr. Fraser is a lovely set of pipes. Priestley?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I don't know what happened then. We came out of the quiz and I just couldn't hear you.
How far away is he? How far away is he?
We're Bolton, we're Barry.
Hat-trick. I'm buzzing with that. I am buzzing. Right then, boys. Let's move on swiftly. Before we get into the other little bits and bobs, let's have a little look at... I've got no fancy graphics this week. I'm just going to wing it. Let's have a little chat about the relegation picture before we get into this week's preview. Watch the Spurs game at the weekend. They look absolutely turgid. Where's your head at when it comes to Leeds staying up? I'm pretty sure you both think we do. I don't think we've got to the point yet when either of you think, it's a bit close now, but I think we're comfortable. But when you look at, as AG gets up the table, because he likes to be specifically correct, Tottenham look like the worst side down there. They are on form. Stats back it up. Priestley, can you see a world in where Tottenham go down, or do you fancy West Ham's run to halt with a tough couple of games, or do you think Forest are in the mire? Where's your head at with relegation picture?
Well, again, Spurs have got a pretty difficult game this weekend. They're away at Liverpool.
Yep. And
then next weekend, they play Forest at home, which if you'd have said at the start of the season, that'd be a relegation 6-pointer, I'd have laughed.
Yeah.
But I did see a post earlier, the amount of players that are missing for Spurs at the weekend. The 14 players out.
Is that when they're out? 14?
No, that's for this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah.
God,
it's crazy.
It's mental.
So unlucky, that, isn't it?
But yeah, again, I think another massive part of it, and I spoke about this before, is the fans don't look up for it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I watched that Palace game, and as soon as that third goal went in, but a lot of them left.
Yeah, no, I mean, speaking of Bossnass as well the other day, and he knows a bit about Igor Tudor, AG. He looks like the wrong appointment for Spurs, doesn't he? And there's a few whispers coming out now that it get beat by Liverpool, it gets that international break, and they could be looking at Sean Dyche. Did we think we'd ever live in a world where Sean Dyche is being talked about for the next Tottenham manager?
I was speaking to 2 Spurs fans today, and they said Dyche has already said he doesn't want to go there. Apparently.
Oh, really?
Never.
He's not turning.
And
Spurs
apparently,
down. Come on.
Apparently, someone told me Levy said in public, if he was still there, he would have got Harry Redknapp in by now. I was like, what's going on?
I'm not being funny, right? I think Harry Redknapp should come in there. If I'm a Tottenham fan, I know he's a bit of a dinosaur, but you want someone who's going to come in and change the culture in a short space of time, or give it. He's the guy, really, isn't he?
They need like a cohesive, like lift the mood manager, like a Harry Redknapp. They need personality. That's exactly what they need. Dyer should be very good for them, I think. Not that he's that. He's a bit more authoritarian, but I think Tudor's very authoritarian, and they don't like it. Their players are not up. They're not up for that. They want their bellies tickled, I think, and that's the problem. I don't think they want to do what he's saying. Like, watch Van der Ven in the Champions League. He should have got sent off. They looked at it and didn't do a card. Well, they can't do a card in far, but they looked at it and he went over the ball, went through someone's ankle. Guy jumps. If the guy stands there, he goes straight for his leg. That's in the Champions League. He's trying to get sent off there. They just had enough. All their players are just and. I mean, this weekend, as Precy said, Romero and Van der Ven are both suspended. Kuvalevsky apparently has got a career-threatening injury. Kudos is showing no signs of coming back. Madison's out for however long he's out for. They are really in the mire, aren't they? The only thing in their favour, which is really sort of odd to say, is I think they're one because they're so shite and because their form's so bad. They're one win away from sort of turning it around. Because it will look very different with one win because they've been so bad for so long. I think if they beat Forest at home, I think they'll be okay. I think but it's continuing, and they're not looking any better, and they don't look up for the fight. But I think, I still make them favours against Forest. I think they have a couple of players back. I think Romero and Van der Ven might be back for that. But yeah, they're really the mire, and it's great for Leeds United. I want to say, I wish we had won a couple of the recent games. We could all just be laughing at them, really enjoying it like everyone else. I think it's the biggest joke in football, and I think anyone that's not a Spurs fan is enjoying it immensely.
Or anyone who's not a Spurs fan's probably wanting them to go down. Like literally, they've got the whole country against them, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that Igor Tudor has said and done in the past week, like hauling keeper off after 17 minutes. I mean, I know you're 3-0 down and he's at fault for 2 goals, but that's mad.
You know what it was though. They subbed him off, and I understand it. It's harsh, but I understand it. But the look on Tudor's face and just total disregard for him walking past him was quite sickening. You saw the other players sort of running over. Nearly every player ran over to console him as he went off, and the manager just did not even give him a moment's at all. And for me, and I understand he's a disciplinarian, he's got his standards, and those goalkeeping mistakes fell below most manager standards. But I do think he's a bit too cold. And there was a moment in that game as well where when what's his name who left us, Jed Spence, he got subbed off towards the end of the game, and I didn't see it, but the commentators commented during the game. And he walked past him. The manager didn't acknowledge him again. He sat in the dugout, took his and then stood up from the dugout, walked over to Tudor, tapped him on the shoulder, and shook his hand forcefully, and then turned around as if to say, "This is how we do it in this country." And then went and sat down, and Tudor didn't know what was going on. I mean, that's mental. It's very Jed Spence. We're led to believe he's got a bad attitude, but there's a fair few in that. Van der Ven, Romero, Jed Spence. There's some massive discipline issues at that club. And yeah, I do agree. AG, a win could maybe turn that form round. But at the minute, they're sinking like a stone, and they are probably the most likely as of right now. But yeah, let's just hope that win don't come for a few more weeks.
Do you see Tudor's presser as well? Some of the stuff he said.
Yeah,
he went, sacking me and getting a new manager in won't turn the fortunes around, which is a bold statement for someone who's done as badly as he has.
Crazy. Well, it says everything.
Being a new manager and coming in and not turning it around.
Crazy bit.
Also, he said you can play or you can cry.
Honestly,
there's nobody tough player. They've got more than a dozen first teamers out.
It says it all, lads. When you've got a club as big as Spurs, and the only shining light for him is Archie Gray, a young lad.
They absolutely love him.
Still playing his trade, really, playing numerous positions in a shit house of a club, really. And he literally, was outstanding the other night. AG, he was. Honestly, just as a Leeds fan watching Archie Gray in that sinking ship, I was proud to say, he's one of our own and never stopped. Got the assist for the goal as well on that, cutting it back. Outstanding performance by Archie Gray in what's a really tough, difficult time,
Yeah, I think he's taken a while for him to settle in there because we spoke about a few weeks ago actually that I thought at the time he wasn't quite ready to play centre midfield because technically he's not still quite that sound, but actually what he's everything they're looking for in terms of bite, attitude, effort, all those elements they need more than anything else at the moment. Absolutely more than anything else. He's got all that in abundance. He's and what is he? He's still 18. Is he still 18?
No, 20, I think now.
Is he 20?
Yeah, he came through at 17 that was 3 seasons ago, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, he must be. Yeah. Sorry, he's still 20.
It's mad though when you think, I know slightly different positions, but he's starting over Conor Gallagher, he's starting over Jamie Simmons. I know slightly different positions, but it's mad when you look at
Conor Gallagher. They paid him $200,000 a week,
mad,
40 million. They Atletico fans clapped him when he come on. I thought they just got clapping him. Yeah, thanks a lot, mate.
Conman Galloper. That's what one of YouTubers calls him, Conman Galloper, because he just gallops around. Honestly,
yeah. So funny. I'll be honest though, if Spurs do go down, we've got the chance to do something hilarious with Archie Gray.
Buy him back for 10 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I watched that Palace game. Brutal. And Van der Ven, when he got sent off, he didn't even protest it. He looks like he can't wait to get out there.
Just wandered off.
None of them look like they want to be there.
But like when in contrast, when you look at, say, Forest, I tipped Forest to go down a few weeks ago until Spurs really got shit. Even shitter than shit. I look at Forest and I think their best two players, Morgan Gibbs-White and Elliot Anderson, they are performing. Bearing in mind, we know Morgan Gibbs-White last season, we thought we were going to go to Tottenham, which, he's glad he didn't make that move now. And Elliot Anderson, let's be fair, he potentially has been linked with Scum. You can see them two leaving, whether they stay up or go down. I think they're top players. But their attitude is impeccable and they're standing up. They both got a couple of a goal apiece last weekend. And with them two players, I know two players don't make a team, but when they're that good and they're leading by example, I do look at Forest and think, I'd tip Forest now to stay up over Tottenham. And that's only changed this last week. So, yeah, I mean, West Ham, I think, get out of it, boys. I ain't going to lie. The next two are massive for West Ham. If they lose both of them, which they may do, Priest, as you rightly said, that may halt all momentum. And then international break, maybe get beat by us after international break, and then they're maybe gone. But I just think West Ham at the minute, although they are a Somerville injury away from maybe it turning shit, and we know he's got a bit of a knock for a few weeks, but everything I'm seeing from West Ham, AG, they seem to have done a total 360 now, and they look like a team that's playing for the badge, and the home crowd looks like it's bought. It looks a much more stable club now behind the scenes and on the pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think bringing Desai in to play centre back is he's a good footballer. And I think Somerville's hit forward. Team with Somerville, Bowen, Fernandez. I think Nuno took a long time to get the team right there, and who is going to start. And I think Castellanos has been very good as well for them coming in. I think they've got some good footballers. It only takes a couple of wins or a win, and suddenly you get a bit of confidence. It starts sinking. Like you say about Elliot Anderson or Morgan Gibbs-White. For a while there, they went missing for a long time.
No, they did, yeah.
Yep. But when the team's playing badly, it's in Premier League. No, it's very rare you could get a player that's good enough to drag the whole team along, and they're not good enough to do that. So yeah, Elliot Anderson against Leeds United, at our place, he went missing completely. He gave the ball every time. Gruev was a much better footballer on the day. So, but they are obviously very good footballers. And I think, it just shows how important, obviously, managers, tactics, and actually getting a team together. And that's what Farke does very well at Leeds United, actually. The attitude he gets from the players, the starting 11, and how he brings it together as a team, and the harmony within that team, not necessarily the squad, but the team he's very good at. And they'll fight for the badge. He's very, very good at it. You don't see, you watch games of Forest, and sometimes there's just like Spurs in particular, actually, as well lately. Everyone's got 5-10 yards of space on the ball all the time. No one's pressing, no one's trying, no one's running. That's where Leeds, that's just not acceptable. And Farke's very good at that. Of course, it shouldn't be acceptable. There should be a minimum standard to run and try. But actually, lots of Premier League teams don't do it. Players are always sulking about something.
Yeah, they are. Richard makes an interesting point here. Obviously, Forest, see what the team they'll pick next week, because they've obviously got to go to Norway, having lost the home leg 1-0. So they've got, a bit of an uphill task to progress in Europe. But yeah, Palace been in Europe. The other night, you've got Forest in Europe, Tottenham in Europe, kind of.
Forest have got to ride off, don't they? If Forest,
you think so?
Well, they've got Fulham at home, and then what's the fixtures they've got after? Oh, Spurs away, isn't it? After that, so that the Fulham at home one, that's a game you've got to identify and get 3 points from, really. That's a game that can shift it. Because you lose that game, then they lose away at Spurs. Suddenly, we're 3 points above them. And if that was now, we'd have 2 games in hand. So, suddenly we're looking much more comfortable. They've got to win one of those games. Suddenly 6 points above them with sort of 6 games left or whatever it would be. So every game now, every game week is huge, isn't it? It's huge now. And the main thing for Leeds, it's the race in the bottom, isn't it? It's the race to be who can be the shittest. And I think right now, you look at Leeds United, we'd do very well to be the shittest out of those 4 sides.
Yeah, I agree. 100%, mate. It's mad really having a conversation, because I've not felt stressed at all season. We've been fairly happy most of the season. Yeah, we are where we are. Let me shout Michelle out again with another super chat. Thank you for being so honest. Thanks, Michelle. You know me, I'm an open book. Wear me out of my sleeve. I'll put some videos out there. I presume talking about the mental health video I put out earlier in the week. So thanks so much for that super chat again. Massive supporter of the channel. Massive supporter of this show. Much love to you, Michelle. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good your end. Yeah, thank you so much for all the super chats so far, guys. Really appreciate it.
Going back to the Spurs thing.
Yeah,
next week when they play Forest. Imagine if they lose to Liverpool on Sunday and then lose to Forest.
Yeah.
They've got 3 weeks before their next game, and that's a hell of a long time.
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, with international break being where it is, and a couple of sides down at bottom end having a couple of really tough fixtures. You look at Leeds' next 2. Palace, a tough game. Brentford, a tough game. But I'd rather have that than, Villa and City or, Liverpool. It's a decent couple of games. You go into that international break up back of a couple more defeats, and in the bottom 3, it's a nervous one, that, and it's so hopefully we can
look at West Ham's 8 fixtures before they play us. They've got City, Villa. I think they've got Arsenal, Newcastle, Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's tough.
Everton. The only saving grace they've got Wolves.
Yeah. Who are in actually okay form at the moment, to be fair. Wolves are doing all right.
Better than everyone, I think, down at bottom end, aren't they? Right up there. Only team to win back-to-back games.
10's in form table over the last 6 games.
Well, that's what happens when you win back-to-back games. We don't know what that feels like this season. We haven't won back-to-back games. Don't think many teams have down bottom. I know West Ham West Ham definitely have, but other than that, a couple of wins and you're flying, aren't you, as opposed to having a patch of a win, a couple of draws and a couple of defeats, which is probably best sort of form we've had in a cluster. We've never had really a couple of wins in back-to-back or maybe in a stretch.
And that's the difference, though, isn't it? We're on 31 points, won 7 games out of 29. We've drawn 10. You change 2 of those draws into wins, you get 4 more points. Suddenly, you're 6 points above Spurs. You're You're 7 points above the West Ham. It all looks much more comfortable. But that's a skill, isn't it? That's the thing, is, and you can always point at all sorts of things like that, because we've been blown away by Arsenal twice in the league, and I think that's it, really, in general.
Yep.
But all the tight games, we've drawn an awful lot of games where we should have probably won them. And I'm not saying we're going to win. You just not how football works. You don't win them all. But if we had to come out better on a couple of those games, we'd be so comfortable now.
And I know we've had a couple.
We should definitely be about 8 points better off.
Yeah, and I know we've had a couple of games, lads, like Fulham at home, and there's been a few more where we've got the late goal and we've got the winner or the equal. But it feels like there's been more,
massively,
where we've conceded more. 17 points from winning positions. That's massive, and a lot of people put Farke to blame for that, which is partly to blame. Sometimes players switching off. He can't hide the players' blame as well. But sometimes just the fact that we're a newly promoted side in a league that's got a lot of quality, and you can set up sometimes and keep them out for 88, 90 minutes. It's keeping him out for 95, 96, 97 now when you're getting bombarded for the last 15 minutes, which is tough. And sometimes the quality just tells in the end, doesn't it, in your buckle?
100%. Absolutely. I think the thing is, you can look at Farke and some of the things he's done, of course. But every club be saying that about their manager, to be fair, as well. But ultimately, if we have 3 or 4 better players, which we'll bring in this summer when we stay up, it will look a little bit different. It's a little bit easier when you've got if Gruev's on the bench because you've got a much better press-resistant DM, the 6'3" or whatever, Sarr from Villarreal, whatever it may be. The game looks very different when you have slightly better players. Of course it does. We are competing against teams. Backward 40 million, Hutchinson 40 million. These teams have got 40 million pound players on the bench. We haven't got one.
No, we haven't, mate.
It's ridiculous, really.
Yeah, it is. But we're doing okay, mate. We're 3 points outside relegation zone.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are.
I would have taken that. 2 decent-ish fixtures to go.
What I would say as well about that, because it might sound like I make excuses for Farke. I'm trying to do the bigger picture, because I'm not making excuses for Farke, because everyone knows I can get as annoyed at him as anyone else, really. But yeah, of course, there's elements of blame to Farke for that. Of course, there is. Certain games you go, changes is extra. And I think he could have been better. But I say he's got very good points as well. But I think ultimately, very simplistic view, but if you put 3 or 4 better players into that squad, we would just do better. And that's a stupid thing to say because it's so simple, but it's absolutely true as well.
Yeah, no, it is, mate, 100%. I think we have pretty much the whole squad fit. Yeah, we do, mate. We'll get into little bits of that later. Our boys had a proper team. They play for each other, for Daniel and the fans. Yeah, they do, June. Definitely got the best attitude out of all the clubs, all the sides down there, in my opinion. Here's a start. If we hadn't have conceded after the 85th minute of games, we would now be sitting 7th. I know the 85th minute now is 10, 12 minutes left at game, so it's still a decent chunk of time when you added time on. But yeah, it's a criminal start. If games of football were 85 minutes, we'd be pushing Europe, which is sad. But like you said, AJ, it's a skill in itself, being able to sort of stay switched on and keep them out for full 90. It's not for 85 minutes. It's a heartbreaking sort of stat for AJ because it shows how fine the margins are. It shows how competitive we are and how close we are to actually being a very, being an established Premier League side. It's just ironing out those mistakes later on in the game and staying switched on. But hopefully with a bit more quality, a couple more years in the league, establish yourself, we'll be able to iron that out. And that only comes with time for me. Right then, let me get on to the next segment of the show. Everyone's favourite segment, but is it Tony Dorigo's toes? Or is it Matty's teeth? Or is it somewhere else new? Who knows? Who? No, it's not new. It's Matty's teeth.
I'm in total disbelief, but who the hell is that in Matt Heath's teeth?
Woo! Each week, I put
far too much time on your hands.
I put an ex-Leeds United player either inside Matty's teeth or between Tony Dorigo's toes. This week, it's Matty's teeth. And this player is... Let's see if you get this one right. I know it's small before you start moaning.
Pedrazza, done. Move on.
Oh, you're joking, mate. How have you got that? How have you got that? Never.
Pedrazza.
Alfonso Pedrazza.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
How, literally, you spent first 20 seconds moaning about the scale of it this week, Pedrazza.
It just looks like him.
Well, because it is him. That's why it looks like him. Oh no, the twist this week, it's Gary Kelly in a Pedraza mask. That's the twist. Like, genuinely fuming you've just done that. And you see what there, chat? He came in there as if to say, just dismissed Matty Steve. He was like, yeah, don't move on, as if to say, shit segment, Matty. Grow a bot. Just grow
I
up.
like ruining stuff.
He wouldn't have got it if it were Tony Dorigo's toes.
No.
I don't think so.
Or Michael Dubes.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. Gutting, absolutely
Ian
wounded
Hart's
with that.
private parts as we had last week.
Michael Dubes' pubes.
That's a belter. That's a belter. Anton Stack's
I bet you can't make a graphic for that.
I bet we can. I bet we can. Bill, as always, has gifted one Imagine Not Being Leeds membership. Thank you so much, Bill. You legend. I'm good with that. Good.
Oh, sorry, I'm just slowly losing my mind here. That's
brilliant, AG. I can't believe you got that straight away, mate. I'm fuming with that. Absolutely fuming. I'm good, Bill. I hope you're good, mate. Teeth, toes, or stacks back, sack and crack wax, says Bibbins goes. Yeah, fire sale. I'll tell you what, we'll start that one. We'll have a chat about that afterwards. None of Spurs players. Hit the like, please, says Jude. Thank you so much. AG is on fire. He wasn't in the quiz. Where's Bossnass gone? His little one's poorly, Dougie. He'll be back next week, hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, his little one's poorly. AG, just shat all over your segment. Shat in the quiz, but ruined the Matty Steve. Yeah, fuming, mate. Let's move on. Tanaka's Knackers, that's a good one, mate. Might have to look at that one too, boys.
Matty's fuming.
I'm not happy. You know what? You're staying up right hand side now. I haven't bothered. Staying up right hand side.
That's bang out wall. That's too far.
Is that not good for you? No,
well, you won't. I know you won't be able to put up with it either. To be fair, so.
I'll try my best. Anyway,
to be fair, AG always strikes me as someone who's on the right. Anyway,
Palace preview. Yeah, you're right. I can't do it. Let's take Tanaka's Knackers off at screen. Not online. I thought I'd be saying today. There you go. Clive says, we've never finished below 9th as a newly promoted team. The reason we are struggling this season is Farke.
Yeah, there's not a lot of data to go on there, seeing as though it's only been once.
I'll be honest with you, it's quite tough to get promoted and finish 9th or above. I would argue that's a tough gig to do. South Stanley, hey guys, gutted I've missed so much Late Night Leeds. Well, the joy of Late Night Leeds and YouTube, you can always watch it back, my mate. I know it's not the same as watching it live, but nice of you to be here now. My good friend, AJ is a lefty. Yeah, Ethan's armpit. Nah, not going with that one, Luke. Anyway, boys, right. AJ's just like, we're lost. Where's it going?
It doesn't even rhyme.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking that. I really don't. Need to do better there. You know Bob Dylan, that's for sure. Right then, boys. Palace away Sunday, 2:00 kickoff. Big game. Palace sort of weren't a worry to me a few weeks back. Then I watched them against Spurs and they looked outstanding. Please tell me it's because Spurs are so shy, as we've just discussed. That's why they looked outstanding. But Strand Larsen, we wanted him. We didn't get him. He looks like he's playing some good football now at Palace. Sarr just off him. Adam Wharton in behind him. They've got some threats there that we're going to, for me, boys, I'll get into my lineup too. Surely Jacoby all starts. We've seen him up against Thiago, Ekatike, Haaland. The big, strong, physical, on-form strikers, he's sort of nullified. Surely he's the guy to keep Strand Larsen quiet. AG, what are you thinking?
I think it would be absolutely mental not to start Bijol on this one. The reason Bijol doesn't start, of course, for us is because, in essence, what we play on the ball is a back four. Because we play a back five off the ball and a back four on the ball. And that's why he wants Justin James in the team, because he slots in the right back and gets forward. You saw Rodon do it a little bit, because we play this hybrid, and lots of teams play a different formation on and off the ball. That's what happens. But Rodon in the middle isn't as good. But Farke, it's his old ways, and he still wants to play this way. He still wants to have the back four on the ball. He couldn't put up with the back three on the ball. He doesn't like the build up. He doesn't like the shape of it. So BL coming in, basically BL doesn't play because he doesn't get into a back four, because we're still playing a back four, which is quite interesting, which, I don't think only really come to me to that idea. But then Justin James wants to play right back, as I say. I don't think Rodon's as good in the middle, and I think Bijol is very good defensively against a big, strong striker. He's proved that all season. I think our win percentage with Bijol is something like 58%, and without him, it's 25%, something like that. It's around those figures.
Yep.
And also, we miss him massively, and where we killed Palace at Ellen Road on long throws and corners, attacking long throws, attacking corners, obviously. Bijol is massive for that. He's our best attacker of the ball in the air for set pieces.
Yep.
And we miss him when he's not playing. I think he's got to find a way to get him back in the side. But I think, I don't know, he's so big that I think he might not still, because he wants Justin James to play that right back role on the ball.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? His form sort of made him a little bit undroppable, Priestley. Mr. Justin, he's played that well. I can't argue with him being in the side, but at the place of Biol at the minute does seem a little bit crazy, mate. You got out to add to that one?
No, I mean, I agree. Biol should start, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't. But like AG said, Farke knows what he's going to do. He knows who he's going to play, and he's probably not going to play Biol.
I just don't think it can go on much longer, boys. I really don't. And
whilst he's playing this hybrid, whilst he's playing a back four on the ball, and we slot into a back four, Gudmundsson goes left back, Justin James goes right back, Rodon Struck centre back, and anytime we pick back four all season, I mean, Bijol did 2 or 3 games. Bijol can't cover Gudmundsson going forward. He's not quick enough. He can't play in the back four. And whilst we're playing this way, he's not going to play him. He's just not. That's the problem. And every time we're on the ball, we start into a back four. And any transitions, then we're in a back four. Gudmundsson's up the pitch. Gruev's covering him, but your left centre back has to cover your left back. And ultimately, it's in the way we're playing, it's Bijol or Strauch. And he's going to pick Strauch, which is fine, because that shouldn't be the choice. But yeah, I think Bijol is our best central defender. I think he reads the game the best. I think he understands, and he's the best. He's solely as a defender, he's the best defender. I think on those crosses, he covers the front post really, really well. He's John Terry Eskin now, and I like to find a random name out there. But and to say attacking set piece, we've missed him. I think we would have scored more goals this season if he had been playing as well, because I think he's such a threat. As soon as he comes on the pitch, he wins headers. So the choice, So the choice is that right back, James or Justin James or Rodon. And he's going to go with James, I think. Left centre back, he's going to go with Strauch because he goes into 40 covers left back. So it's then Rodon for Farke in his head. It's Rodon or Bijol, and that's the only decision.
Well, this is what I think,
and it's frustrating.
It is. This is what I'd like to see, boys. This is what I'd like to see. It's a little bit different to. I'd normally say Metcha next to DCL, and obviously DCL maybe missing in this one. I think reading between the lines of the press today, they said he's a doubt. They said Okafor's a major doubt. So I think Okafor will sit this one out, boys. I think DCL will play. I really like the look of this side. I know you've just said your reasons for what you don't think, AG, but in an ideal scenario, boys, would this be close to your setup for Palace or not?
Yes. I want 3 big centre backs in there. I think you play a back 3. If you play a back 3, you pick 3 centre. For me, you should pick 3 centre backs.
Of course,
there are 3 centre backs. Done and dusted. Not born out. It's not Justin. And I think, let's say, anytime you get a corner or a long throw, them 3 coming into the box is a threat. It's where we killed them. We killed them at our place doing that. Yeah. Absolutely killed them. Bijol, I think, got 2 knock-ons. I think he got at least 1 assist, maybe 2 assists in that game. The only thing I mean, back 3, I say, it goes into a 5-4-1 in possession. He's going to keep doing that. Stack and Aronson coming forward. He'll pick Gruev in this. I don't think there's any doubt Gruev plays. I think if you're playing a flat 5, I think Longstaff should play instead of Aronson personally. I like the idea of Nonto getting. I think Nonto is our most creative footballer. I think he technically he's him and Okafor is close. I think probably technically he's our best attacker. I think if Nonto got a run in the team, I think he obviously go from strength. Well, I think he'd go from strength to strength. But Aaronson's a bit tired as well. But yeah, right now I can't see him doing this. Sadly, it wouldn't be far off what I want to do. I don't know about Nonto starting necessarily. I'm saying he'll go to 5-4-1 and attacking midfielders be Stack and Aronson in attack, and then when you fall into a block, Aronson goes left, Stack goes right. Midfield, and you fall into a 5-4-1. I think he'll revert to that.
I think it'll be that. I do. I mean, I personally think Biol plays in this one, but I think the midfield and up top is exactly as you say. Just a quick here, boys. Clive's really shouting from rooftops saying about Dan James must start. I mean, Dan James won't start for me. Is he? sort of fallen out of favour in terms of just because of injuries and he's going to struggle to get back in? Or do you think the way we play now, the formation play only leads into him coming on late in games when we maybe, go into like a 3-4-3 or we sort of all out attack when he throws all, where does he fit in here? Right wing back? Does he fit where Nonto's in? Does he only fit in a 3-4-3 formation or 4-2-3-1? How does he play in our sort of starting formation, boys? Dan James, or is he now an impact player? Because I love Dan James and he's outstanding.
I think he's an impact player. Imagine 70 minutes, you're 1-0 up and you bring Dan James on.
Yeah.
Palace defenders aren't going to want it. Also, speaking of Clive, did I just see him say that Pascal's our best defender?
Pascal's a bloody good defender. I'm at my words.
He's not our best defender.
I don't think he's his best defender, but he's his best progressive defender with the ball at feet, I think.
I think Pascal's a very good defender, but I think he has rash moments. I think he has moments where he's caught out, where he tries to win a ball he shouldn't be trying to win. I think that happens once or twice a game in the Premier League. In the Premier League, you can get punished for that. What was the question before that? Oh, Dan James.
Where does he fit in as a starter?
Well, I mean, to be honest, like this, in the home game, I'd love to see more of a 3-4-3 stack going centre midfield and two wingers, or on 2 10s or whatever you want to put. I love the simplicity of what Dan James offers. I think when he starts and just runs in behind the whole game, he's just such a threat. He's so direct, and I kind of love that way of playing him. I love the simplicity of all of this because free at the back, defending your box, attacking the box, great. Long throws, corner, 2 up front works brilliantly. Play wingers, get up to them. Like I think we've got a little bit messy, and I think lately we got sucked into a bit of an old Daniel Farke way of playing and this new style formation, and ended up sitting in the middle, kind of absolutely nowhere. Like Farke still wants to do, he wants to pick this defensive lineup that's ready to defend in a block, but attack slowly and pass the ball around and pass to your nearest open teammate. The problem with that is we haven't really got the team he's playing. I think he'll do it against Palace as well. We haven't really got enough players with a good enough technique to play through teams. So for me, the simplicity of having 2 up front, for example, let the ball do the work. Just get the ball forward, let the ball do the work. Let the ball travel 40 yards without anyone touching it. Just get it up the other end of the park and let people battle physically for it. Because right now, I think what the biggest threat we'll have against Palace and the way we'll set up is going to be our press and trying to nick the ball high up. And then I think we'll sit into a block sometimes, and then we'll try and hit him on the break. I think he'll do Stack and Aronson and attacking midfield, DCL up front by himself. DCL's so isolated at the moment, and we haven't got any technically sound enough players to give him any supply. Because Aronson's probably your best technical player in terms of close control and playing on the pitch, close control. But what Aronson's bad at, he's not a very good striker of football. He's not a very good crosser. He's not a very good passer. He's not a very good shooter for an attacking fielder in Premier League. So and Stack's very good at those 3 things. Doesn't really get in position enough because he can't beat a man. When you've got no one in the team that can beat a man and no one in the team that can thread a pass, you're like, okay, so how are we trying to attack? What are we trying to do here? And I think that's an interesting question for Farke, and it'd be an interesting question for him to try and answer. But I don't mind the team if it plays for 70 minutes, you bring something on. Yeah. But I do like but then we've also had games where we've not picked someone that could take a corner and not pick 3 big centre backs to go forward for corners. Yeah. So I'd say it's a little bit jumbled for me at the moment, and I think we need to go back to the stage which was Chelsea at home, where we play 2 up front, or we play someone closer to DCL. At least it isn't Aronson, it isn't Stack. The problem is, mate, if it's not Metcher, which for some reason don't look like Metcher and Calvert-Lewin are going. It's not Okafor either. No, but I think for Farke, his preference would be Okafor. I do. That's what I mean. Yeah. So if I think Farke looks at his squad and doesn't see anyone that can do that role. Yeah, no, I agree. Priestley,
give me 2 minutes. My battery's about to die, so.
No worries, pal. No worries. Yeah. So,
by the way, sorry, could just say, I think incorrectly he looks at the squad and doesn't see anyone can do that role. I think there are players. I think Nonto can do that same role. I think that role Aronson's been doing lately of that left attacking midfielders, inside 10, outside inverting, pulling back in left midfield. I think Nonto can do the role, but I think Nonto doesn't do that role because he doesn't press as well as Aronson, and he doesn't think he can defend as well as Aronson.
But I think Nonto can.
So do I. But I think why you pick a team, but he can't. When you're picking your team like that against home team, we're playing 3 at the back, right? And you're playing Justin James because he's better for going forward as a right back when you're picking a back 3. That's like, okay, what are you working on there? What's actually you're picking James because he's a good attacking right back in a back three, and then opposite right. He does, and then where's Bogle come? Bogle's then your right winger. Bogle can't beat the man. Bogle's very good, but he's not really. He's technically sound for a right back. He's not technically sound for a right winger.
Yeah,
he's not going to push it past someone and outrun him or do a trick, and it's just not his game. So then you've got nothing on that side. Aronson and Gudmundsson gets us out of the pitch. Aronson's, I say, doesn't particularly beat a man. So I say it doesn't really come together as a synced up team, especially in games. Well, I say Man City's Arsenal Arsenal's done well, but certain games it works. It's defensive lineup and thinking defensively first. Because even when we got the ball, we're keeping the ball for the ball's sake.
No,
we're not trying to attack with it. And we're not thinking, how do we build through lines?
As a symptom of it, Dominic Calvert-Lewin now ain't scoring goals, just like he was early in the season.
Absolutely. And people will start knocking him soon. Not saying, because that's just what happens in football. Not saying even from Leeds United, not coming from outside. Oh, he's not score afraid. When's his last decent chance? I know he had one against
City
early on.
City were the one, Other than that, he's probably had one really good chance in the last 4 to 5 games.
No supply at all.
No, I agree.
That's what, because again, as a striker, what is he? He's not a guy that beats a man. He's a guy that wants 1-2 touch finishes and otherwise plays with his back to goal. That's his whole game, which is fine. It works. But you've got to have stuff around him to complement. I don't think we pick a team that complements each other attacking wise very well at all at the moment.
No, I know, mate. And you've got to try and find a way to get the most out of Calvert-Lewin for me. From now to the end of the season, you've got to try and get him scoring goals again. And we know what we're working, going direct, getting people in and around him. I think, I'll be honest with you, if DCL scores one more goal in the next 9, I think that will be a symptom of us struggling. You know what I mean? For us to get the 8-9 points I think we need, and I think we get, I'm expecting DCL to get another 3 or 4 goals in these 9 games. I think if he doesn't get 3 or 4 goals, it probably means we're struggling, because at the minute, I don't see many goals coming from elsewhere, in my opinion.
I actually agree, and I think ultimately, as I say, I think what we need to go we play a back 3 and play a back 3. It hasn't got to go to a 4. It was back 3 for a while there. It was Stroud, and then suddenly I can't remember what game it was. If you remember, but Rodon started playing right back, and I was like, hang on, where's Rodon playing here? And that's what Farke went. Oh, James Justin could work for that role, and that's where we switched everything quite a lot in that moment, and then from then on, and it worked for a little while. But I think you've got to find a way now, when the Metros fit, getting him in the team, and you've got to find a way to get Peugeot in the team. And I think if you do those 2 things, you suddenly have to play a more direct way of playing football. You've just got to get it forward to strikers and pester the centre backs. You've got to. But Farke is, of course, against that idea. Because as well, you're playing Biol, and you think, great, because that's throw-ins and corners. Get up strikers, play territory, win your throw-ins, win your corners, get the ball up the other end of the pitch, play in their half. But yeah, it's just not the Farke's way of playing, is it? He just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't, mate. He doesn't. Have you got all to add, Priestley, in terms of DCL not scoring at the minute, been a symptom of not playing to his strengths? I want to see someone close to him. He needs to be scoring goals for Leeds to be getting points, ultimately, for me.
Yeah, like AG said, I think he's been very isolated recently because of the way we set up. If you're going to play 3 at back, play 2 up front. Even if you play even if you play James off him, just a little quick man that can nip him behind off at flick-ons.
Yeah, he needs someone in and around. He can't do it on his own. And at the minute, if he's not scoring for me, I do think, the points are going to be limited what we pick up. I'm still of the right sort of mindset that he will start scoring again, but some has to give, some has to change. And maybe that Sunderland game was that turgid. Maybe you saw, a nice bit of attacking threat against Norwich. Again, caveat that with who we're playing, but maybe those 2 games have made him look at it and go, right, this is what we need to do going forward. Because I hope so. We don't want the turning point to be, boys, in a couple of weeks when we hit bottom 3. We don't want that to be the turning point like it was against City. We need it to be now while we've again, like we talk about subs, proactive changes, reactive changes. A proactive change now would be to do this change now while we're still 3 points in front, as opposed to being dragged back into it,
Yeah, I think that period where we were good, where we did, as Priest said quite rightly, if you're playing 3 at the back, it gives you luxury because you're taking a defender out of the team to play 2 up front, and you can still have as many bodies in midfield because your wing backs can do more work going forward as well. But I think we've got a little bit confused in what we're trying to do, and I think we're at a moment. Last few games we did nothing. I was amazed at that Sunderland game after Man City. Man City makes sense. You play Stack, you play Aronson, and you think, great, they can defend. We'll play attacking players who can defend. fine, whatever. But then against Sunderland, I thought that was a game we should have won. They were really poor, but we were worse. We were playing James Justin had bloody holes in his shin from the Man City game where he got studs in his blood everywhere, and he starts 3 days later. You got Jakobio on the bench. That makes no sense. I can't make sense of that personally.
Just Psychic here, how you doing, mate? We're talking DCL and Metcha. He's put out of the picture now in Premier League. Psychic, I'll be honest, yeah, I think so. I don't think him scoring a goal against Norwich has done anything to get him any game time. I actually go one further and think he probably shouldn't have played in Norwich game, which sounds wild because he did okay. I don't think he was great. So I've seen some people say he was outstanding, but I don't feel like he was great. He took his goal well. I expect him to score that goal. I ain't going to lie, even though he's a little bit rusty. But I think you get so much more as a Leeds United side and squad with 9 games to go playing Buonanotte in that game. I genuinely look at the landscape at Leeds and go, we'd have got so much more from Buonanotte playing 90 minutes against Norwich than we do Pido. Because for me, Pido, doesn't matter what he does, Psychic, Pido could have scored 14 goals in 5 minutes against Norwich. He ain't starting a Premier League game. Buonanotte comes in, slots in that 10 role and plays really as a really good, maybe he sparks something in Farke's mind that maybe he can play that role, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys think about that. I feel like it was a wasted player to play against Norwich because it doesn't matter what Pirro does. He isn't going to play in the Premier League. We need a goal with 2 goals down, 10 minutes to go.
Oh.
Go on, Pirro. Do you understand what I'm coming at? I don't know how to word it.
Don't start on the Pro coming on at 88 minutes to play DM for us, which we've done a few times now, which is just so stupid.
He played the game against
Norwich. No, but I'm just harping on that one because we've seen it in Championship. That had gone for so long, that 8 strikers on the pitch, no sort of clear tactics or anything else. But I know what you're saying, but I think Buonanotte is a write-off for Farke. I think he's a bigger write-off than Perot. I think he's written him off completely. There's no doubt about that. So I think I don't really, he's gone for me. He's may as well not even be at Leeds, whatever he's picking up wage-wise. Perot is a luxury player. Even playing 2 up front is a luxury player because if you go long quickly, he's never going to win the first ball ever. He doesn't even try and win the first. In the Championship, when he's played up front, he used to duck under it. He used to play long balls up to him. He just move out the way and then go for the second ball himself. And the second ball, he hasn't got the fire or desire to go and get stuck in for that second ball either. So he's just not an option. He's a luxury. As good a finish he is, as good technically he is. And I think in the right leagues, in the right teams, he'd be a very good player. I think in Germany, Holland, I think he'd be a very good player in the top flights. But in the Premier League, where it's a bit more blood and thunder and fight, he's just not an option. Even in the 2. He's just not.
I agree, Clive. We haven't seen enough of him. And that's not me saying he can't do it. I'm just saying I just look at it and think, I don't know why they played him against Norwich.
I would say he can't. I would say he certainly can't do it. I don't think he can do it. And they say because people think 2 up front suddenly it's not an option. He's still a luxury in a 2 because he's not got the fight. And if you're going into Leeds United to play a 2 up front, what that means is you're going more direct because it has to be that. And if you're going more direct, he's taken out of the game even more so. So he's just not an option.
And Paul, he did do a little, but he hit the crossbar with a good shot and score. But that's Pirro at that level. We saw it in the Championship. He didn't always play well, but he'd come up with a goal because that's his level, and he'll always score at that sort of level. So he did little and scored, which is great. If your striker's going to do that every game and get a goal, you're not going to moan about his output in terms of everything else. It's the goals you need. But I just feeling that. I mean, I'm from my point of view. At the game, I really wanted to see Buonanotte have a crack half an hour, and I think he could have made that sub at 2-0, took Pido off, brought Buonanotte on, and he didn't, so I'm probably a little bit frustrated I didn't get to see him at all, but we'll have to see. Maybe Pirro's played himself into Farke's thinking. I would suggest not, but who knows? We'll have to have a look. Is Buonanotte fit, though? Limited game time and definitely looked overweight. I wish I were that overweight. I'm not too sure.
Overweight, is he? He wouldn't be.
I'm not sure.
If he was any way overweight as a Premier League, they get every morning they're weighed. There's no chance he's overweight to play Premier League football.
Maybe we'll hear after the season when he goes back to Chelsea. Maybe we'll hear someone will come out.
Yeah, but that's what everyone says. Like
Chelsea.
Adam Pope saying, "Oh, Somerville down tools." I mean, Adam Pope gets so much wrong anyway. He just makes half the things up he says. But like everyone says loads of things at the end of the season. So many players that don't perform suddenly got a bad attitude. Strand Larson, he's crap because, he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Look what he's done at Wolves. Well, look at him now at Palace. You put any striker in that Wolves team, they would look rubbish. There's lots of circumstances going around football that mean players don't perform, tactics and all sorts of things. So,
Yeah, nah, he don't Brendan Gross. He don't. Not all the time. He's not always right, is he? Right then, boys. Score prediction before we move on. Priestley, give me yours, Priestley.
2-2.
To Desmond.
Yeah.
Not a bad result.
I think 2-2 as well. I was going to go 1-1, but I think there might be more goals than that. So I think it'll be a draw.
I'm led to believe Palace went with a full strength team last night.
Yeah, they did.
And drew 0-0. So, which means they need to win the second leg. Possible the rest players against us. Do what Spurs did last season. 4-goal league for them to concentrate on winning in Europe.
There was talk of that. There was talk of that they were resting.
They're almost safe, aren't they? The one win from they're on 37 points, so they're almost safe. I would
say they probably are safe now because I can't see West Ham winning another 3 games. But I have been wrong before. Not very often, but I have been wrong.
Yeah, I mean they got no require. I mean they got a few players missing. Sar's a bit of a superstar. In certain games he looks like the best winger in the Premier League. In certain games he just doesn't. You don't see it.
Who's their right back?
Munoz.
He's a doubt, I think.
He's a doubt. Yeah, he came off.
His replacement is Nathaniel Klein.
I know. I'd rather be facing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said for the Spurs game. Imagine being Spurs. You're 3-1 down at home to a London rival. You're a man down, and then they bring on Will Hughes. You'd be fuming. This feels like taking the piss.
Yeah, no. 1-3 Palace getting a spank is a psychic. Well, I'm going to give you mine. And I said earlier, 1-1, but I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds. I think that second win away from home is going to come sooner rather than later. I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Do you still have it 2-1 Leeds if he picks the same starting 11 he has been doing?
It's so tough, isn't it? It's so tough when I say you don't know side, but we probably do know side. I'm going to say, yeah, because I say it all the time, and maybe it's a bit daft to say, but I understand the negativity that will come with a Gruever and Aronson playing off DCL. But a little bit braver, mate, and we've seen that side go to Newcastle and score 3 goals. We've seen that defensive side go and attack. So for me, it's all about the instruction and the freedom he allows us players. We have seen that defensive side score goals, Adam.
I
don't know.
I think the Newcastle game was because the way Newcastle they want
a basketball game, that mate. Yeah,
exactly. And in transition suits that team. What that team has more than anything else is running power.
Yeah, it does.
Munson, Bogle, Stack, Aronson. That is top 4 Premier League. Well, that's a shout. Running power. It is, but it is Stack as a machine physically. Like Aronson getting around both. It is elite in the Premier League. That's where we do match teams better. And we run more than anyone else. And if an open game of football like that happens end to end, we are right in it. When teams play more compact and play technical games of football, and when we try and play like that, that's when we come unstuck.
Yeah, very true.
And that's when again the contradiction comes into it.
No, it does. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 regardless, mate. 2-1 regardless. James Bossnass has gone here. Well, no, his little one's poorly, James. So we wish little Freddie well, and hopefully we're back next week. Do me a favour, guys. 167 watching, 128 likes. Got about 5 or 10 minutes left of the show, so please smash a like. Let's get up to 150 before we leave. Just 2-1, but yes, just 2-1. I usually go 14-1 and stuff, don't I? But yeah, we'll go with that.
Would you be happy with a draw?
It's a tough one, mate, because it's hard not to be. And we're led to believe by everyone, including Farke, a draw away from home against anyone's decent. But
okay, let me frame it this way: would you be happy with the draw if Forest, Spurs, and West Ham all lost?
And I think that's likely to happen as well, mate. In my opinion, yeah. But what I'll say is we've lost 2 home games back to back, Priestley, in the Premier League. A draw at Palace has to be followed up with a win at home against Brentford. In my opinion, I don't think 2 draws is good enough. I'd rather lose to Palace and beat Brentford, which makes mathematical sense, obviously. Yeah,
I'd be happy with a draw. I think, but I think it's very winnable. But it's not like I think Forest at home against Fulham. That's one of the games they've got to identify to win. Your home games, ones you got to do better. They're the winnable, more winnable games. Yeah. But ultimately, we saw the blueprint of how to beat them at Ellen Road. Aggressive, physical. Long throws, just get the ball in the box, get your 3 big centre backs up there. I think we saw that blueprint already. So I think it's there to win. But yeah, to be honest, I would be happy with a draw, yes.
Yeah. What I will say is as well, though, there's a way to draw a game and there's a way to lose a game and stuff. I don't want it to be, let's be fair, Adam. we sit back, we defend, we nick a goal, and then we concede one at 95th minute. I don't want that draw. I want a draw where we go out and play a bit of football, and it just ends up where we've performed well, and it's a good away point. I know a point's a point regardless of how you get it. I don't want to see an Aston Villa point. You know what I mean? I don't want to see us sitting back for the last 20 minutes and getting what we probably deserve for sitting back, even though we played okay in that game. I want to see us attack and have a go. So a 2-2 sounds like an attacking sort of game to me, where we get caught out a couple of times. So 2-2, I'd set that rather than a let's sit back, absorb pressure, and ultimately concede. I think our own fault, but
yeah, even if we play a bit open and expansive and attack quickly, which is what it is, that's expansive and open for Leeds United to attack quickly and not think about how we keep the ball. If we go in at half-time 1-0 up, we will then see the more Farke championship tactics of pass it round the back to the nearest open guy and keep the ball as much as possible. And then that's when I think we invite pressure on a little bit more, and the mentality's changed, and we sit back a bit more. So if we're 1-0 at half time, I think the mentality always slips back into that. It's hard to change that, obviously, but you're trying to manage the game of football. But I mean, Aston Villa was, I think that was a bit of an outlier as well, because I think Villa are a decent side, and I think they attacked us relentlessly pretty much 45 minutes. I was amazed they only scored one goal in the end. But,
to be fair, yeah, Clive, I agree with that, mate. If we stay up, Leeds is one of the top jobs in Europe. I'd actually go along with that. A lot of people disagree, but most Leeds fans would agree. It's a hell of a project, is Leeds, if it's all going well. Have to go for this. Over to you, Farke. 2 cup finals, job done. Yeah, I mean, I think we need more than 2 more wins, but I'll tell you what, we go win these next 2. It's a decent international break with a quarter-final in FA Cup to look forward to. How nice would it be to win in London against Palace, do the job at Brentford, international break, knowing you've got to go to London again after just winning your last game in London. All of a sudden, you're a point or 2 from safety with 7 to go, boys, and potentially in semi-final. 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, we could be sat absolutely buoyant and chuffed and buzzing, just like we have been for parts of this season. Whereas right now, it's in that sort of territory of, I feel okay, but actually, I'm not too sure. But in a couple of weeks, boys, it could be an absolute shit show. Or we could be something like. So yeah, I'm happy to say I'd take a draw, but I think we could win this. I'm going 2-1. Leeds are winless in their last 11 trips to London, 2 draws, 9 losses. I assume our last win in London, boys, were against West Ham. What it with BL? Charlie Cresswell played in that game, did he? Did Harrison get a hat trick? Have I made that up?
Millwall.
That last one was Millwall, wasn't it?
Yeah, when we won 3-0.
That's the one, yeah. Remember the QPR 4-0 loss, Priestley? That was a sick, wasn't it?
Yeah, that were a fun night.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Really fun. That's what I'm thinking, Paul. Yeah, win the next 2, then focus on Wembley. Exactly. Right then, boys and girls. Last part of the show is Starred Chat. Fraser, straight in there. Question. Tell me what you think about me. Do you think, even if we stay up, Farke still goes? I'll answer that first, boys. I think it depends on how we stay up. I think that's quite obvious. Stay up, limp over the line. I think he goes. Smash it, get 4 wins in the next 9, get to a semi-final at FA Cup. Maybe the land sits a little bit differently. Your thoughts, right quick, boys, on that one?
I haven't got a quick thought. But I think what's interesting, I think when Farke came into Leeds United, they gave him a lot of. He had first say and final say on all transfers, right, for a long time, and they've diluted that over time, more and more so. And I think they might want to dilute that a little bit more. This, especially 1 year left in his contract. I think they'll start talking about a new contract, and I think they might look at diluting it even further in terms of how much say he's got on the transfers, and it go back to maybe a more director of football role. More director of football model within Leeds United, and he has obviously final sound transfer still. He has play if he's manager, and I don't think he'd want that. So I think this season could be a turning point, because I think it all might change slightly. Obviously, it's all guesswork a little bit, and also it's all about expectation. How good do managers Leeds United think Farke is, and where do they want to go, and can he get them there? And that's it. That's the main question on the football side. But I think there might be a little bit of breakdown anyway.
Yeah, Priestley, before you jump in, I'll add this one as part of the question too. What Brett says. Let me ask you something. It's a Sunderland fan, by the way. He's put, do you think Farke was hired with a view past promotion? I think he was, Priestley.
Yeah.
He's still here now.
Yeah, 100%. I'll answer the first one first. Yep. I think in the summer it depends who's available.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna get rid of Farke, you need someone better to come in. You can't just stack him and then go, right, who's out there?
How about him?
Yeah, he's the one that springs to mind, but he'll go somewhere like Spurs or Liverpool or Scum.
You reckon? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he's done
And
enough.
the one with the question about a view past promotion. Yeah, because you look at Parag's comments about how he was never backed in the Premier League and we're going to back him. So they always knew that if we get promoted, he'd be the man to lead us in the Premier League.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree. White's forever. Steve, I think Bogle has gone off a boil in the last few games. I don't feel that, boys. Does anyone?
I think he's playing high because of this four at the back in possession. He's suddenly playing right midfield, right wing, and I think it's not quite his role to be that high up the pitch. I think he's better a bit deeper and receiving the ball, and I think he's been asked to do different things. I think it's not quite as good for him, and I think he again, you're asking him to be really tactically adept and good on, technically adept. Sorry. And I don't think it's quite his game. And I think this. So yeah, there's something in that, but I wouldn't say he's been playing bad.
Thing is, lads, you've only got to go back 4 weeks, and he was directly involved in the 2 goals we got at Stamford Bridge to leave Stamford Bridge with a point. He wins a penalty and he goes and does the run that falls to the tapping for Metcha, or Okafor, I think, to get that goal. So, if it wasn't for him in that game, so that was only a few games ago, 4 games ago. So I'm not sure. Like you say, it's a different role, so he just looks different on the pitch. Doing a different job now, a bit more attack.
I think a lot of it as well is Goodmanson on the left has been that good as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Usually, Priestley, we used to say, especially in Championship, wow, Bogle, outstanding Bogle, like, week in, week out, where this season it's more focusing on Gabby. Gabby's getting the plaudits week in, week out.
But I think no, I 100% agree with that. But I think with this forward back thing again, I keep going on about. No, Goodmanson is still playing left back, so the game is still in front of him. I think Bogle's now receiving the ball a lot with his back to goal or offside on. I think it's different. It's a different game. He's not receiving it from Rodon and then looking forward and what he can do with it. I think he's receiving a little bit higher at the pitch. And when you start doing that, I say you got to be technically a lot more sound. And he's still the same player technically, so he's not going to quite look as good. He's not going to get in the ball as much space as he was.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, AG, 100%. I'd take Glasner at Leeds. That's what Morris says. I
like Glasner, but I think it's gone so wrong at Palace lately. I think there'd be a risk. Yeah. I think Iriola would be a risk. I think Iriola's is crazy. He's Bielsa-esque. He'll play his style, which is open, expansive, pressing, high line, and you'll go Man City and lose 7-0.
Yeah, but Bournemouth have been a weird team this season, though.
Yeah.
They had 8 really good games, then 8 really bad games.
Yeah.
Then 8 really good games, and now they've gone off at boil a bit in the last 7.
Yeah.
And I won't have Glasner either because of how he's been at Palace.
Yeah, I think
the way he's conducted himself over the last few weeks.
I agree.
Not a fan of it.
Yeah, fair enough. Paul Smith, we have virtually a fully fit squad. That has to be massive plus for us in the running. Yeah, I mean, stands out massive that a minute. I feel like we haven't had a fully fit squad all season, and to be fair, that probably happens at a lot of clubs. Look at Spurs right now. It's hard to, you sometimes look at it, if we had this player fit, it never really happens. But I won't lie, boys, we're coming to the business end of the season now, and we actually are pretty much at full strength. Okafor's the only major doubt, and if he doesn't play this week, he'll play next week by the sounds of it. He's back in team training. DCL, we've managed him really well this season. We've managed Okafor considering the injury hits he's had. Metcha. Any injury really we've had recently, it's been a couple of weeks in and out, and we haven't had any massive detrimental injuries, I don't feel like, this season that have really impacted the side. Like, we had a few in the Championship where we had Ampadu, Strout missing for big chunks of time. It's relatively gone okay on the injury front this season, but right now to be coming into the running, boys, and maybe if we get through this game unscathed, we'll have a fully fit squad for Brentford, and that's brilliant with 8-9 games to go. Fantastic for us.
Yeah. Well, see, it's so. I mean, Championship's a game Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday, whatever. It's tough. It's tough. And a lot of these lads are battle hard. A lot of the guys that are playing, the Ampadu's Rodons, got through 2 whole seasons in the Championship. Well, Ampadu obviously had his injuries, but Strout had his moments as well. But yeah, I think it's easier to manage in the Premier League. And I don't think you need as much rotation in terms of playing time, etc. It's more tactical rather than injury-wise. So yeah. And I bet we've probably got 3 or 4 players that are really, really important.
Yeah, I mean, remember we played Scum at home and we had no Ampadu, no Rodon, no Bogle. They're probably the three you look at and go, they're the three you wouldn't want to miss, and we did all right in that game.
Stack's in there for me as well. Stack's in there for me.
Yeah,
as well.
Stack is in there, mate. Stack is in there. You'd take Knutson, wouldn't you, boys? You'd all have Knutson, wouldn't you?
Oh, Bossnass and his Norwegian people.
He supports them, doesn't he? He loves that team, doesn't he? He's always talking about them, always. You imagine Bielsa with his squad. Yeah, I have done a few times, Fraser. And it just, it's very exciting, but it will never happen, obviously. Psychic. So what about this one, boys? Fire sale at Spurs when they go down. Who would you buy from Spurs? I'm going to say Archie Gray straight off the bat, but there's some players there, quality-wise, you'd pick over Archie Gray, would you not?
I don't know. I mean, fire sale, I don't know. Van der Ven and Romero are going to pick up 100 million plus between them comfortably. 120 million plus between them, probably. I don't think they'll have to do a fire sale because they've got some real value there. I like Kudus. I know he's hit and miss. I know he's hot and cold.
Solanke?
I think he's a class. Solanke, I really like Solanke.
Solanke and Kudus are my two, mate. That's what I
think. My two, if we're picking two, I'd have Vicario. I'd have the keeper.
I don't like him, mate.
We can do with him.
Put him up front.
Well, you know, everybody spent the last 3 months complaining about goalkeepers.
Yeah.
And I would have Richarlison.
To be fair, Richarlison at Leeds would be class, wouldn't he? He'd just get it, wouldn't he? He'd just get it.
Yeah, it would be funny.
I like him. He's a shit house.
Yeah.
I'll take Kubileski. I don't know, he might be out for a I think he might, but he's a class footballer.
I like him, I really like him.
James Maddison?
Yeah, well, he's quality in it, but I'm not too asked about him.
They've got a lot of good players, though. A lot of good players.
Which is, but they're all injured, so.
Well, that's the thing. And Doggy's a brilliant left back, but it doesn't fit. Porro's decent.
Bergvall's
class.
Bergvall, he's another one.
Yeah, Richarlison would remind me of when we had El Diouf. Remember that? That'd remind me of that sort of player. You know, where you just think he's just a shit house.
That's why I want him.
Yeah, I'd have him, but yeah, be class that. Right then, let me just quickly shout out Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa for his. Oh, he hadn't done it again, by the way.
I was there. I
did that once. I did that before when I clicked on it last time. I think it was Abdul Rahman Al Khalifa before. Did a big one a few months ago. I clicked on it and they're like, boss, I was like, not again. No. Thanks so much for your super chat again. Just a shout out. And I hope everyone stays safe. You're in, mate. Thanks so much for that. Massive supporter of the channel. Michelle, thank you so much again. And Michelle, and again, and Bill for his gifted membership. So thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the membership there you sent there. As always, Bill, every week you do the same. But yeah, we'll call it a day there, I think, guys. So yeah, I'm going to win 2-1. You two think of Desmond 2-all. None of us think we'll lose. So we are a positive trio tonight. I would like to see Stack replace Amper, who says easy. They both play anyway, don't the boys?
Yeah, I think they're both different profiles as well.
Both profiles, but they're both. Yeah, we'll be with both. We'll just have both for me.
I won't put Amper doing an attacking midfield role.
No. Bremner, yeah, I heard that too. Emery, I don't know if he got offered, but maybe we could have got him around the same time as they got him.
That was the World Cup when Marsh were in charge, when we beat Bournemouth and beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
Oh. If we'd have lost those games, we'd have sacked him and got Emery in. And then he went to Villa and...
Mental. But yeah, anyways, we'll call it there. Smash a like on the video. 143 likes. Smash a like on your way out, please. Love you all a bit. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe. We will tomorrow. I'm doing a watch along for the West Ham versus Man City game. So come back and enjoy the watch along with me. And then, yeah, watch along for.
What time's that?
20 to 8 tomorrow night. Oh. So stay off YouTube, mate.
I'll be asleep by then.
Yeah, we'll go with that. You'll be asleep by probably. Yeah, but 20 to 8 tomorrow. Join me for that game if you choose, West Ham v City, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for these two. Thanks for Mike for jumping on for the quiz. Love you. Leave you. See you later. Bye-bye, everyone.